we asking the wrong question? A recent article in Canada's National Post newspaper expressed dismay that despite the arrival of a globalized society, university students cannot locate the Atlantic Ocean on a world map. My colleague, who is the chair of Canadian Geographic Education, Connie Wyatt Anderson, wrote a response to this article, stating that this lack of geographic content knowledge is the result of decades of the erosion of geography as a curriculum staple. She called on parents, curriculum developers, education authorities, and educators themselves to be advocates to return geography to its rightful place throughout the educational system. Kudos to Connie for being so bold as to do that. Now, folks, the National Post article reflects something that we in the geography and GIS education community have become used to and, frankly, rather tired of. We're now in our 30th year after the first of these dismal reports from National Geographic and the National Assessment of Educational Progress about geographic illiteracy. While I salute the Post for caring about geography education, I really do, these types of articles and reports about students not knowing where Alberta or Addis Ababa or anywhere else are interesting and well-intentioned, but I think are asking the wrong question. Yes, it is unfortunate that some students do not know the location of major oceans, continents, or countries, let alone the location of their own ecoregion, watershed, or neighborhood in their own city. We can bemoan what we consider to be lack of core content knowledge, not only in geography, but in any other discipline. But now more than ever, students can look up that information in a flash. Yes, they need to be critical consumers of that data when they look it up, most certainly. However, in a book I recently read entitled In Understanding the Digital Generation, the authors claim that the model of the educator dispensing facts for students is increasingly out of touch, not only with societal needs, but out of touch with how students learn, frankly. The result are increasing disengagement by students to their own education and a tragic underutilization of their talents and skills. The real tragedy is not that students don't know where the Atlantic Ocean is, but how oceans function, why oceans are important to the health and climate of the planet, how oceans support economies, how coral reefs and other ocean life interact, about threats to ocean life and to the oceans itself, and so on. The tragedy is that very little of what I consider to be true geoliteracy, or geographic literacy if you prefer, is being rigorously taught and engaged with around the world. Yeah, there are core pockets, but true geographic literacy is not aggressively and thoroughly taught. Core geographic content such as sustainability, biodiversity, climate, natural hazards, energy, water, etc., the spatial perspective, such as holistic, critical, and spatial thinking about scale, processes, relationships, and geographic skills, such as working with imagery, geographic information systems, global positioning systems, mobile applications, databases, remote sensing, etc. All of that is, to me, geographic literacy. While there are many fine exceptions, to be sure, we need a much greater global adoption, beginning with valuing geography and geospatial as fundamental to every student's 21st century education. As a consequence, I am concerned that the key issues of the 21st century will not be well understood and able to be grappled with by graduating students as our future decision makers. I firmly believe that geotechnologies have a key role to play to help enable effective teaching and learning of the above three pillars through inquiry. What are those three pillars? Geographic content, skills, and the geographic perspective. And then along the way, students will also be able to understand core content, even the location of the Atlantic Ocean. So, do you think we are asking the wrong question?